Where can we find meaning and avoid crash outs in a world that's moving increasingly faster? Let's find out from Jamie Wheal what can give us meaning in today's Big Think video.
It's really easy to forget that we're just monkeys with clothes.
I'm definitely a monkey.
If you took all of life on Earth and you compressed it into one 24-hour day, anatomically modern man shows up at 4 seconds before midnight. Cave paintings at 1 second before midnight. We've been playing at civilization for a fraction of a second. Everything is going into exponential change, from education to quantum computing to cryptocurrency to transport to macroeconomics to geopolitics to climate crises to everything. It's breaking our brains.
What breaks my brain is how fast everything moves nowadays, from fashion to the news cycle to social media and what's popular. It's hard to determine what's going to be next or what we should even pay attention to because everything moves so quickly that you could pay attention and focus on something and then it just moves on to the next thing. The more sinister thing is while we're focusing on one thing, what else are they trying to distract us from? One thing's for sure, focus and attention are hot commodities in today's society.
We're overwhelmed, we're collapsing in grief. It does feel that the handrails, the things that we used to look to for stability and security, have just evaporated.
Seems to me like the handrails for security are getting even thinner, with everybody posting their whole lives on social media. I remember back in the day it was rare, but now people check into any place they're going to. My aunt and uncle put out everything that they're doing online, checking into places. Bad actors could use that information against your will.
I'm Jamie Wheal, founder of the Flow Genome Project and author of Recapture the Rapture, Rethinking God, Sex, and Death in a World That's Lost Its Mind.
God, sex, and death are the three big ones. Pretty massive topics to tackle.
The collapse in meaning that I think you can at least argue we're in the midst of right now is complex and multivariable. We've had a collapse in traditional organized religion, what you could call kind of meaning 1.0. For the first time ever, the nones, the spiritual but not religious, like the none of the aboves, is the largest and fastest growing religious movement in North America. There are increasingly folks that feel like, hey, those stories, those codes, those ways of being don't match my identity, don't match my choices, don't match my community.
Does this mean we need a new religion? When your identity and choices don't match those around you, it creates a cognitive dissonance. And when the mind battles with itself, that's when things start to fall apart.
So organized religion is no longer a place to hang our hats. And at the same time, modern liberalism has also been getting a little creaky. That's meaning 2.0. Think of the ivory tower in academia, news media, businesses and corporate titans and leadership, potentially even medicine. And you just take those and you just go one by one. You're like, oh, well, Goldman Sachs sold Middle America down the river in 2008. McKinsey helped Purdue Pharma sell more OxyContin well after the negative effects were demonstrated. The New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, which used to be considered the journals of record, are now imploding. And the same thing with doctors, the same thing with corruptions in peer review and the replication crises. Basically everything you've ever seen on a TED Talk is probably not true.
The one common theme that runs through all of these headlines is people's lust for money and making more. Infinite growth on a finite planet is unsustainable. No character is infallible. Even myself, especially me.
So all of the places that we used to use rules of thumb or decision-making shortcuts, that's just evaporated. So in that collapse, we're getting fundamentalism on one side and we're getting nihilism on the other. We're getting diseases of despair, we're getting real heartbreak. I think you could make a case that that is why we're seeing this uptick in conspiracy theories of all stripes. Will anybody make sense of all of this nonsense for me?
No outside savior is coming to save you. Not God, not Jesus, not aliens, not the government, not your mom and dad. We are here to save ourselves. We've highlighted all the problems, but how can we fix them?
If you can give me a happily ever after, if you can tell me that I'm one of the good guys and you promise to get me to the other side, hundreds of thousands of people these days are deeply vulnerable to that promise.
The promise of placating, of dangling the string with the carrot in front of people, just out of reach, leading people on just enough so that they're not gonna think about their options or fight back at all. It's an endless loop of just enough. But me personally, I don't want just enough. I want more. I want to experience the full range of life. I'd much rather live in ones and tens on a 1 out of 10 scale than fours to sixes.
These are rapture ideologies. We can see examples of that with ISIS and Christian Zionism. But I think what is equally important to note is that they show up in Wall Street, in Silicon Valley. All of these rapture ideologies share the same structure. Number one, the world as we know it is screwed. Number two, there's an inflection point coming soon. Number three, as soon as we get to that inflection point, me and mine, the elect, the saved, are going to score one of the golden tickets to the other side. Number four, so let's get there as fast as possible. Don't worry about the collateral damage of the world we're leaving behind.
This is more outside savior complex. Leaving people that are not in your group behind is just rampant in every single section I see. In spirituality, mostly people have this idea that, oh, I'm righteous and I'm saved and my cause, my ideas are going to bring me to this next level. But in every single subsect, I see people leaving out others, othering people. We're all in this together, and no outside savior is going to come save us, which means that we all have to contribute together. It's not a me movement, it's a we movement. So we all need to choose to move together. But the tricky part is that choice is an individual choice for us to come together. So the individual has to choose to benefit the collective, and nobody can make that choice but you.
So the question then is, how do we create liberating structures so that a lot of people all around the world can experiment, innovate, and adapt their own approaches to finding and restoring meaning without it coming tops down?
I think the most difficult part is it's not one solution fits all. It's multiple solutions for each individual small niche community. Maybe even a solution for one individual. But all of these solutions together will change the world. The trick is with the individual, it needs to come from bottom up, a grassroots movement, if you will, not top down like we've always been doing. What's that quote? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I think it's time for us to change up our tactics.
If we want to create meaning 3.0, right, which is a blend of traditional religion and modern liberalism, right? How do we have the salvation that religion promises and the inclusion that modern liberalism is committed to?
My take on this is we need to build local communities. Right now, the thing that we're missing the most is interaction with people. We have this interaction online, but there's really not a lot of in-life interaction, which is leading to the loneliness epidemic. So we need to build third spaces. We need to take malls and rejuvenate them and maybe make them community centers, more farming in the form of community gardens. We need to take all of these ideas and help bring people together in real life. And maybe once we're together in real life, we can build meaning.
From Meaning 1.0, we need healing, inspiration, and connection.
Healing, inspiration, and connection all sound like community values to me.
From the modern liberal side, we want this to be open source. We want anybody, anywhere to have access to this. It needs to be scalable, really cheap, or outright free. And then the third is it has to be anti-fragile. But as Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan till they get hit, right? So the idea of an anti-fragile solution is one that actually digs in and gets stronger, more rooted, more effective as things deteriorate around it.
I can't think of anything that's more open source, scalable, and anti fragile as building local communities. Because if we have this system where we build local communities, each local community knows their specific pain points. And if we can take these local communities and branch them out into a global community, I think we could change the world. Who better to fix local problems than people who are local and know about the problems firsthand? What's more anti fragile than people coming together on a local scale? Resilience built locally can transcend into a global resilience. A great example for local community is local plants, local ecosystems. Each ecosystem has a niche. They have specific plants that are local to that area. And that's what we need to do as humans. We need to have each individual having their own place in the ecosystem and building up the ecosystem or the forest and having strong roots to root down in the local ecosystem and build together and grow together into a beautiful forest with many different species, because each individual human is not the same. We are all different. And that's what makes us beautiful.
If you want to do things that everybody has access to that are effective, start with evolutionary drivers like breathing, sexuality, embodiment, substances, and music. Our nervous systems and our bodies can actually be profoundly potent tools to discharge trauma and to prompt peak states and inspiration. Bringing that design thinking approach is an attempt to support that.
Universal ideas transcend language and help us get into our bodies. And once we're more present with our bodies, the healing can start to take place. How do you expect to connect as an individual to a collective if you yourself as an individual are not present in your body? Like the common saying goes, we have to love ourselves before we can love others.
So that would be the hope for Meaning 3.0. It doesn't promise an out or an escape. It doesn't promise a happily ever after that is structurally different from right here, right now.
There's no winning or losing. There's no end to the game. It's all about constant improvement, the infinite game.
We need tools to mend our trauma, tools to reconnect with inspiration, why we're here and what it all means, and tools to better connect with each other. And if we can do that, then we stand a chance of recapturing our rapture, our bliss, our contentment, our belonging, our passion, and the story of who we are, the story of where we're going, and the commitment to figure out together, what do we do now?
Sounds like we have to recapture ourselves to build a collective society that we all want to be a part of. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.